Have you ever heard of these rare conditions? In the vast landscape of human health, there exists a collection of conditions so unique and rare, they baffle even the brightest minds in medicine. While these conditions are seldom seen, they are indeed real, often significantly impacting the lives of those who experience them. They are fascinating not just for their rarity, but for the unique ways they manifest. So, buckle up for a journey into the world of the extraordinary and the rare. Let's dive into these fascinating yet little-known conditions. First on our list is Hutchinson-Guilford Progeria syndrome. This extremely rare genetic disorder is characterized by an appearance of accelerated aging in children. Imagine being a child but with the body of an elderly person. Roughly 1 in 4 million newborns worldwide are affected. Life with this condition is challenging, with individuals often facing health issues typically associated with old age, such as heart disease and arthritis. Next, we delve into the world of Field syndrome, more popularly known as alien hand syndrome. This condition causes a person's hand to act seemingly on its own, without the person's conscious control. It's like having a hand with a mind of its own. With fewer than 50 documented cases since its initial discovery in the mid-20th century, this syndrome is indeed a rarity. Living with Field syndrome can be a bewildering experience, as individuals often feel detached from their own actions. Next up, we have stiff person syndrome. This condition is marked by stiffness and functional impairment of the muscles, often leading to painful spasms. It's as if your body refuses to cooperate with you. The rarity of this condition is staggering, with only 1 in a million people being diagnosed. Life with stiff person syndrome can be extremely difficult, with daily tasks becoming a major challenge due to muscle rigidity and spasms. These are only the beginning. Wait till you hear about the next ones. Next up in the list, we have the Stenman Syndrome, officially known as fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. This rare, disabling condition gradually turns soft tissues into bone, restricting movement over time. Imagine, if you will, slowly becoming a living statue. It's an incredibly rare condition, affecting about 1 in 2 million people worldwide. Shifting gears, let's dive into the curious world of the Alice in Wonderland syndrome. This condition distorts perception, making objects appear larger or smaller than they are. Much like Alice's experiences in the famous novel, people with this syndrome might feel as if they've fallen down the rabbit hole themselves. While it's hard to pin down exact numbers, it's known to be a rare neurological phenomenon. Next, we have the foreign accent syndrome. This one is as peculiar as it sounds. People with this syndrome suddenly start speaking their native language with a foreign accent. It's usually the result of a stroke or brain injury. The syndrome is extremely rare, with only about 60 documented cases since it was first identified in the 1940s. Living with these conditions can be challenging, as they alter the way individuals perceive and interact with the world around them. The rarity of these conditions only adds to the mystery and intrigue surrounding them. Intriguing, aren't they? But we're not done yet. Ever heard of a water allergy? That's aquagenic urticaria for you. Imagine breaking out in hives every time your skin comes into contact with water, even your own sweat or tears. It's a condition so rare that only about 100 cases have been reported worldwide. Living with aquagenic urticaria means constant vigilance to avoid water exposure. Let's move on to Kuru, also known as prion disease. This neurodegenerative disorder was prevalent among the 4 people of Papua New Guinea who practiced ritualistic cannibalism. The disease, transmitted through the consumption of human brain tissue, led to tremors, loss of coordination, and eventually death. Thankfully, with the cessation of cannibalism, Kuru has become virtually extinct. Next up is Harlequiniosis, a severe skin disorder, named for the diamond-shaped scales that cover a patient's body, reminiscent of a harlequin's costume. This condition is extremely rare, with only around 1 in every 300,000 births. Life with harlequiniosis involves a rigorous skincare routine to prevent skin infections and dehydration. Last on our list for today is Moebius, a neurological condition that primarily affects the muscles controlling facial expressions and eye movements. People with Moebius syndrome can't smile, frown, or move their eyes from side to side. It's a rare condition, affecting about 1 in 200,000 people. These are just a few of the many rare conditions that people live with every day. So, there you have it. 10 rare conditions that you might never have heard of before. From the accelerated aging of Hutchinson-Guilford Progeria syndrome to the involuntary movements of Field syndrome, And from the stiffness and functional impairment of stiff person syndrome to the mysterious symptoms of Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Each of these conditions is as unique as the individuals who live with them. Remember, while these conditions are rare, they are very real for those who live with them. So, next time you meet someone with a condition you've never heard of, show them understanding and empathy. After all, we're all human, each with our own unique challenges.